Welcome to the second video in the series of carrying out a literature review for your Sci-Tech MSc dissertation. My name is Leslie English and I'm one of the faculty librarians supporting the Faculty of Science and Technology. In this video we'll focus on developing an effective literature search, identifying and accessing relevant library resources such as OneSearch and library databases, carrying out a search using keywords and Boolean operators, and knowing how to save results, save your search, and also set up alerts. So far, through watching video 1 and carrying out the activities, you should have started to define your topic and research question, identify the type of material you need to find, think about what you don't want, for example, how far back do you want to go? Do you just want material in English or in a particular geographical area? And you should have started to use your background reading to identify synonyms, near synonyms, and alternative terminology. So for the examples today, I'm going to use this topic, the potential security and privacy concerns of digital personal assistants or DPAs. I don't have a background in this area, so please forgive me if any of the synonyms or broader and narrower terms aren't quite as you would expect. I've broken my topic down into concepts, as you can see here. The first one looks at the concept of a digital personal assistant, and the second is looking at the concept of security. And I've also started to note down any alternative terminology, synonyms or near synonyms. So instead of the word digital personal assistant, as I've been reading, I've found some authors would refer to virtual personal assistant or intelligent personal assistant or intelligent virtual assistant. And also when I'm thinking about the term security, authors may use the terms threat or privacy or attack or risk. So before we start to search using the databases, it's worth thinking about the search tips and tricks. So these can help save time when searching. So you can use an asterisk for truncation, and that can help you find words with variant endings. So if I use the term tech and an asterisk, in the database, the results that are returned will include the words technology or technological or any plural of the root word. You can also use the question mark for wildcards. So in the example here, where behaviour has a UK or a US spelling, if we use the wildcard, it will pick up both variants of that word. And also it's useful if you are wanting to search for a phrase, so where I want to search for intelligent personal assistant, if I put quotation marks around the phrase, the database will find the phrase in that order. So it may be that you are completely familiar with Boolean operators, but I'm just going to run through this in terms of searching within a library database. So if we use the word and, we're going to combine different concepts. So in my example, if I search for security risk and digital personal assistant, the results will contain both concepts. If I use or, I can combine similar concepts. So the terminology that I've identified, I can use the word or to find articles where at least one or another of those terms is used. So for that example, I might use digital personal assistant or DPA or intelligent personal assistant or intelligent virtual assistant and so on. It may be that I want to use not to exclude a concept, so that isn't used as regularly. Perhaps it may be that you are focusing on a particular geographical location and you want to exclude an area that's coming up a lot in your results. Okay, So I'll shortly be going on to do a demo of the library resources, and I'll start through the library homepage, and that will include using OneSearch, the university's discovery tool, and you can search here for resources that the library has access to, which includes ebooks, journal articles, conference papers, theses, newspaper articles and more. And through OneSearch you can go to the e-journals A to Z to search for and browse for particular journal titles. So it may be that your dissertation supervisor suggested particular journals to look at. I'll also show you the subject guides, which link to key resources for your subject, and the databases A to Z, where you'll find access to over 270 databases that the library subscribes to. So as I said, these are all available through the library homepage at www.lancaster.ac.uk, and also through the student portal through Moodle or the iLancaster app. So let me go on to the library homepage. So if we go to the library homepage and scroll down to see OneSearch, and I would recommend that you log into OneSearch, and that will give you seamless access to all the electronic content. Okay, so I've gone into the advanced search, and I actually want to go back. So you can see a chat's come up, so if you do need any support with OneSearch, you can ask one of our team through the chat feature. So let me go back to the simple search from here. And as I said, it's useful to log in. So you would be prompted here for your Lancaster username and password. Okay, so I'm going to search in the field of full text online, which will appear as soon as I start searching. So let me type in some keywords. So you can see I've used the double quotation marks to find two phrases. I want to look for artificial intelligence and personal assistant, and I'm going to search within full text online. And this is just my starting point, it's to find some background reading. Okay, so we've got over 2,000 results. So you can use the refine my results option down the right hand side to narrow down that set of results. So you can see we can sort by the type of resource, so it might be that we want to find peer-reviewed journal articles. It may be that we want to search for book chapters or whole books or dissertations on this topic. And let's go down further. So again, we talked earlier about a date range, so I can refine my results by a particular date. I might want the last 10 years. It's always useful to have a reason for selecting that date range. And here I've got the subject headings, the subject areas that these results come under. So I want to refine my results by artificial intelligence, by computer science, and let's just scroll down. So Internet of Things, and we have intelligent personal assistant. So there's a few subject areas that I want to refine to, and I can click on apply filters to apply that. Okay, so we've still got almost 2,000 results. So I'm going to refine by date. So I'm going to scroll down, and in the creation date I'm going to choose 2011 up to the current date and just click on refine. So around 2011 was the first modern digital virtual assistant was installed on a smartphone, so I'm going to choose that reason. Okay, so let's just have a look through. You can see we've got some conference proceedings and articles. So let's have a look at understanding user behaviour of virtual personal assistant devices. I can click on full text available, and that will take me to the full record for the article. By scrolling down the page, we've got the title and a description. So in OneSearch, the description is the abstract. So you can tell by looking at the abstract whether this article is going to be useful for your research. And then it gives me some options for viewing this text online. So here I've got 3 options, so 3 different databases where this is available. And I'm going to click on Springer Journals. Now because I've logged into OneSearch, it should give me seamless access to this article. So here we are. I've got the original article. I'm just going to click on OK to get rid of that panel, and you can see here I've got the option to download the PDF. So if I download that, I should get the full text of this article. Okay, let's just go back into OneSearch. If I scroll further down the page with the full information about the article, you'll find you've got these subject headings, and it's useful to look at these headings just in case you've missed some terminology. So it may be that I just want to make a note of some of those. Okay, so our search here was searching for full text online, and we were looking for some background reading. It may be that we want to go into an advanced search and start using those Boolean operators and combining our concepts. So if I search for VPA or virtual personal assistant, and I can carry on with my ORs on that row, and I want to search for those terms within a description. So we're going to search for those terms within what we would say was the abstract, and I'm combining with an and I'm going to search for, in the second row, security or privacy, and you can see I've typed this out earlier. And let me just pop back in and change that also it's in capitals. And again, I want to search for those terms within the description. From this page, I can select material type, I could select the language, or I can select the publication year. Okay, so let's go on to the last 10 years from here and search. So I've got a results list of 55 results showing if I'd put in more of my ORs there, that number of results would have been increased. Okay, so just as before, I've got the option to click on the view full text available, and I should be able to seamlessly download the full text from there, and I've got again the filters down the right hand side. When you're in OneSearch, you can save any results by clicking on the drawing pin icon when you're logged in, and that will pin any results that you have up into your eShelf in the top right hand corner. You can also save your search, so you've got this option to save query. So if you're happy with the search that the search strategy that you've got going on here, you can save that search as a query, and again that goes up into your eShelf. And from here you can see my saved searches, saved records, and my search history. So going into saved searches, I can set an alert so that whenever new results are published that match that search, I'll be notified, and I can say how often I want to be notified, whether it's once a week, once a month, and that will come into my email. So in OneSearch you can also search for particular journals. So if we go into the e-journals link at the top of OneSearch, this is an A to Z list of all the journals we subscribe to, but you can go in and type a title. So if I search for information systems, it will list any journals with information systems in the journal title. And as before, when we're searching, we get this link to view online. And from here, we'll get a link to the database where this is available. So just as before, I've got 3 options here. So I can go in, click on the link of Taylor and Francis, which is the database. And this is where it may look different depending on which journal you're looking at. So from here, I can search within the journal. So it might be that I want to search for my topic just within this particular journal. Or I can go and look at previous issues. So it may be that actually I just want to go into the issues for this year and browse through those. So just another way of searching from within OneSearch. Okay, so now it's your turn. So you may want to pause the video in a moment and go to OneSearch via the student portal or library homepage, log into OneSearch and try a basic search for books or journal titles using full text online, and that means that you are looking for any material that's readily available electronically. And then try a more complex advanced search using articles and more, and experiment with the refining features on the right hand side, for example the resource type or subject or by year, and save any useful results to your eShelf. So pause the video now. So before I go back to the library homepage, I'm going to share some information about the subject guides and databases. So subject guides are created and updated by faculty librarians, and they include links to subject-specific resources, for example e-book collections, databases, patents and standards, and also include short tutorials on how to. The University Library pays to subscribe to databases, and they usually have a basic and an advanced search, so you can search within a field, for example title or author or abstract, and you can set up a user account. So just like OneSearch, you can save results, you can save your search, you can set up alerts and more. So let's go into another demo. So again, from the library homepage, scroll down and you'll see the tiles for subject guides and for databases. So let's go into subject guides. And from here we've got an alphabetical list of subject areas. So I'm going to choose computing today and go into the computing and communications guide. So you've got tabs down the left hand side, and you can see here we've got a getting started page, and at the moment this is showing some top tips for using the digital library while we're using the library online, and it has a welcome to the library and various bits of information on there. During the coronavirus outbreak, many publishers have given libraries access to material that would normally be a subscription. So you can see in this tab some of those freely available resources. Also in the finding books and ebooks, you'll find ebook collections relevant to your subject area, and what I'm going to focus on now is finding conference proceedings and journal articles. And from here we've got some information about using journal articles, about how to find journals in OneSearch, and then we have a list of databases, so subject specific databases, followed by further down the page some interdisciplinary databases. So let's have a look at the ACM Digital Library, which is Association for Computing Machinery. And from here I've got a basic search and an advanced search. So let's click on advanced search. And here I've got space to put in my key terms. So let's put VPA. And I can add more terms into that row if I need to. Let's click add a second concept. So in this section we can put our terms for security or privacy or risk or threat or attack. I've got the option to search within anywhere, or the abstract, or the title, and various other fields. So I'm going to choose abstract for that. Okay, and you can set a publication date range as well. So let's search. Okay, so we've got 99 results, and if we click on the title of the first result, I should get a little bit more information. I'll get the abstract, I'll get the reference information, and I get the option to download the full text as a PDF from there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the subject guide and go down to the interdisciplinary databases. And from here I'm going to go into the database called Web of Science. The reason I show you Web of Science is because it has a useful feature which allows you to not only see the reference list of the article, but will also show you who has cited the article since it was published. So again, from here we've got basic search or an advanced search, and in Web of Science I tend to stay with a basic search and add more rows. So if we add a row, it's going to search within the field of topic. In Web of Science there isn't an abstract field, but you can see topic searches the title, the abstract, the author keywords, and the keywords plus. So I'm going to search for my second concept, which is security or risk or attack or threat, and again within the topic. I can go into more settings and search within specific collections within Web of Science. So you can see there arts and humanities, social sciences, etc. Just going to search within everything for now. Okay, so we've got almost 2,000 results. In Web of Science, you've got the filter options down the left hand side, the refine your results. So again, you can search for publication years. You can search within categories in the Web of Science database, so computer science information systems, computer science hardware, architecture, etc. And click on refine. And just point out one more feature in here. So in the document types, we've got the different types of papers. A review paper is a useful resource, or it can be a useful resource at the start of the process. So a review paper is like a literature review. So it might be that you can identify key authors and key concepts. So let's refine. Okay, and from here I've got the option to view the abstract, access the full text from the publisher, or the find it option will go into OneSearch and see if we have full text available there. Let's just go back one. So our full list of results was initially sorted in date order, so the most recent paper is up at the start from July the 1st, 2020. We can also sort this list by relevance. Okay, which talks about the security risk of voice-controlled third-party functions on virtual personal assistant systems, and I mentioned times cited. So I can sort the list by the number of times the papers have been cited. So this top result has been cited 925 times. So I can click on that number and I can see which papers have cited that original paper here. So just a word of caution, it's not always a sign of good quality. If we think back to Andrew Wakefield's paper on the MMR vaccine and autism, which was a paper was discredited, it would have a high result in the times cited. It's also worth thinking that any papers that have been published recently will not have been cited as many times as those that are a few years old, so just take that into consideration. Okay, so I mentioned with OneSearch that you could save your results, you could set up alerts. So similar with Web of Science, you can go in to sign in and register for an account. You can add results to a marked list, which is a folder, and you can go into searches and alerts to set up those alerts so you'll be notified when new papers are published. Okay, so now it's your turn. So if you want to navigate to your subject guide, have a look through some of the databases, look at the descriptions, see which ones look relevant for your research topic, and choose a database to explore. So you might want to go into Web of Science or one of the subject databases and set up an account in there. Construct your search using the search terms that you have identified earlier in the video series, and try experimenting with the refining features. So maybe sort by document type or refine by date, and save any interesting results or save the search as an alert. You may want to pause the video now. So you might ask, why can't I just use Google Scholar? And Google Scholar can be useful when carrying out a scoping exercise or to see if the full text is available if it's not available through the library. However, there are reasons why you should also use library databases when carrying out a literature review. And these include that not all publishers allow Google access to their content, so you may miss a key paper for your literature review. If you're using Google Scholar, it's not as easy to sort or export your results, and there are limited refining options. You can watch a short video on how to link Google Scholar with Lancaster University Library, which will be useful if you are using it for a scoping exercise, and I've put a short video in the files area of your team's site. As I mentioned, there are some freely available resources which you may want to explore when you're carrying out your literature review. So Google is useful for grey unpublished literature such as charity reports. You may want to explore preprint repositories such as archive.org, and Lancaster ePrints, which is the university's repository which usually has open access material. There may be times when there's an embargo on some of the more recently published journal articles from members of staff at the university. And as I mentioned, during COVID-19, many publishers have made the resources freely available, and you can browse the guide available through the library, but some of the more scientific resources include Jove, which is the Journal of Visualised Education, which includes video protocols, the Elsevier textbooks, and some of the annual reviews.